how the whir sound got its letter. The river wound its way lazily through the jungle of Alphabet Land. Lucy and Sam were lying on the grass beside the river, eating a picnic lunch. Suddenly Lucy sat up. "What's that?" she said, pointing to something splashing in the river. "It looks like a letter," Lucy added anxiously. "Help! I can't swim!" shouted the letter. "Oh, no, what shall we do?" cried Sam. "The Alphabet King said we weren't to swim in the river because of the alligators." And then something extraordinary happened. An alligator silently emerged from the river and gently pulled the letter toward the bank. The children helped the letter out of the water, and the alligator raised its head. "Blunt," said Sam in amazement, "what are you doing here?" Blunt had felt like a swim on this beautiful sunny afternoon. However, as swimming in the river wasn't allowed, he disguised himself as an alligator, so he wouldn't be eaten. He had not expected to do something helpful, like rescue a letter. The letter V lay on the riverbank, coughing and breathing hard. "Oh, thank you," she gasped. "I didn't think I'd ever get out of the water." "What happened?" asked Lucy. The letter V sighed. "I got so tired," she explained, "balancing on the thin tip of my V. I was leaning on a stone beside the river, resting, and I just fell into the water." "Poor you," said Lucy. "We must think of a way to help you." But suddenly the peace of the riverbank was shattered by loud screams and splashing. An alligator was chasing Blunt. His sharp teeth were snapping around the water behind Blunt's feet. Blunt was escaping as fast as he could, yelling with fear as he scrambled away. It was a narrow escape. The children couldn't help laughing as they watched Blunt run towards the castle. He wouldn't be swimming in the river again in a hurry. Turning again to the exhausted letter V, Sam said gently, "Come on, we'll take you to the Alphabet King." He picked up the letter, and the children walked back to Alphabet Castle. "I'm sure the Alphabet King will help," said Lucy, reassuring the letter as best she could. "What's happening here?" asked the Alphabet King as Sam entered the workroom, carrying the tired V in his arms, and Lucy following just behind. "Well, this letter is finding it hard to stand up because her tip is so thin," explained Sam. "I saw her the other day," said the Alphabet King. "She was leaning against another letter for support." "Come here," said the king, holding out his hand. He put the letter down next to a large mirror. The V letter was sad. "I do try as best I can," she said quietly. "I know you do. I'm just not sure what to do to make you more stable," said the Alphabet King. "We have work to do today as well, don't forget, twins. We must find a letter for the whir sound." "Twins," said Lucy. A brilliant idea had struck her. "Maybe the letter V can have a twin." The V letter smiled. "A twin? Someone who can stand next to me and support me?" "Yes," said the twins in unison. "Look in the mirror and see how good you look." "What?" asked the Alphabet King. How can that work? Children cannot write a double letter. There can't be two letters for one sound. That is nonsense." The V letter looked disappointed. "Look," said Sam, "another V could stand next to this V. We could write them as one shape, and then it would be perfect for the whir sound." The Alphabet King had to admit that this was a good idea which would solve the problem. "Well done, Sam and Lucy. We shall call this letter W," said the king. He gave his moustache a twirl and immediately set to work on writing the new letter. Because W is a consonant, he used a blue pencil. The new letter looked very smart in the book of letters. "It's such a strong letter. All we need for the capital letter to start sentences and names is a bigger version," said the Alphabet King. "Let's hope that's what the magic will make." The Alphabet King's moustache was wiggling nicely as he performed the magic to create a capital letter. He clapped his hands, and there it was in the book, a lovely big W. Lucy asked, "Will it be easy to write?" Sam drew in the air, using his magic finger. "Lead in up to the top, then draw one V, then another V, then lead out at the top to finish," he said. The Alphabet King summoned the royal painter. "Make sure you show plenty of water in your painting," he said, "because water is a W word." The next morning the dawn light lit up the new picture. Standing on the red carpet in the picture, the capital W was such a tall, strong letter that it reached right up to the roof. Even the little W sat solidly on the red line. These sturdy letters would never fall over. Blunt went to look at them in the gallery later that day. His plan to scare Sam and Lucy had gone horribly wrong. He was the one who got scared instead. He had made his own punishment.